Hark Minis, this be your captain speaking. This is another chapter in The Journey Continues. So let's get this out of the way. Captain's log 07 05 2021-1. All right. You know, I'm not really sure what direction this is going to go in. I just know that I'm supposed to release something today, and I'm not real sure what direction we're going to go in today. But it is hopefully will be a help and a guide to you on your journey, because that's what this is all about, is a spiritual journey or a path. You know, when you first start out, on this journey or path, it's because of a choice and a decision that you've made, that you choose to live spiritually first, rather than what all this nonsense that we have in this world that we exist in. One of the reasons I truly believe is that we choose to live more spiritually minded is we have found that this existence, this particular reality that we live in, is lacking. You know, I don't know what else to say other than that until I started a spiritual journey, or I started walking down a more spiritually minded path, I didn't really know what satisfaction was. I didn't really know what joy was. I didn't really know what true happiness was. Because everything else that I tried in this reality, you know, whether it be relationships, or a shiny new car, or a shiny new rock, or a shiny new mug. See, I'm even calling myself out on that, if you notice that. But also, you know, as a counterpoint, you know, we're not here to just muddle away and groan and not enjoy any of what is available to us in our existence here. Trust me, you know, I have quite a few different mugs, and some days it's really difficult when I'm trying to decide which mug I'm going to drink coffee out of, because I got so damn many of them. All right, but I enjoy each every one of them. They bring me pleasure. It's something I like to do. All right, being on a spiritually minded journey doesn't mean that you can't enjoy things, but being spiritually minded or following a spiritual path means that comes first. Okay, and part of, you know, and some of you are probably sitting there, well, Captain, you know, what path, what journey? Well, you know, for me, that process began when I was trying to figure out my higher power, or power greater than myself. The path or the journey, generally speaking, will materialize in front of you during that process of discovery. See, and this is a really important point that you need to take note of, is that a journey or a path, spiritually speaking, is not only a discovery of that power that is greater than ourselves, but I would say that 90% of that path, of that journey, is self-discovery. All right, discovering who we really are. You know, and again, this is not blaming, this isn't shaming, this isn't anything. This is just a simple state of facts, you know, that I'm articulating here. You know, my parents, the environment that I was raised in, they only taught me what they knew. Okay, and that's neither right nor wrong. That just is. Okay, and I'll be honest with you. You know, there was our educational system isn't geared to an individual's needs. It's meant to be memorization, test taking, conform. Well, I've had to unlearn all that shit. You're going to have to unlearn all that shit. Society has taught me a bunch of shit that's useless. You know, particular religious organizations. Again, I'm not shaming, I'm not blaming, because they only can teach what they know. Okay, but they taught me a bunch of junk. That I had to unlearn, you know, because I've learned that the power greater than myself, that God awareness, and again, I'm just using the word God in its most general sense, which is a power greater than ourselves. I'm not trying to define that in any way, shape, or form, because that's between you and the God of your understanding, how that evolves and who and what that is. That's a deeply personal thing, and the God of your understanding will make that very clear to you. I'm not saying one way or the other. I just know what my path is, what my direction is, you know. And again, it's an element of discovery, and to be honest with you, it's filling that void. There's a void within every single one of us that we've tried to put everything else that's in our reality, whether it be drugs, sex, relationships, cars, toys, all this bullshit, we try to fit in there, and it doesn't fit. And we're always lacking. We're always, no matter what we achieve, we're not satisfied. You know, today I can say that I'm satisfied. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that I'm still not hungry, because I still hunger to know the God of my understanding better each and every day. That's what drives me, is to know the God of my understanding and to be of service. You know, I try to help as many people as I can. This is a principle that I live by. I try to help anyone that I can, and if I can't help you, the least that I can do is not hurt you. All right, we got enough wounds and hurts to overcome, because that's just the way life is. Okay, you know, and following this path, you know, it takes commitment, you know. But I'm telling you, the rewards for learning how to do things more spiritually minded, to following a more spiritually minded path, no matter which way it turns. And one of the principles you're going to learn is, you know what, here's something that we're taught. Okay, we're taught that there's right, wrong, and there is in a sense, you know, and there's good and bad, you know. And when you're on a journey, you're on this path of self-discovery, okay, one of the things I've come to know is that there really is no good or bad decisions. Every choice and decision I make puts me exactly where I'm supposed to be, whether I like it or not. All right. Now, some choices and decisions, are obviously better than others, because they're a blessing, not an awakening. Because sometimes an awakening isn't. Well, sometimes an awakening hurts, because we have to own our shit, and then we got to fix that shit. Now, mind you don't have to do that. You can just keep mumbling and bumbling along your way in life, but you're always going to have the same fucking results that you have. I mean, that's one of the reasons that you go on a journey, is to discover something different. Okay? And if you're tired of having the same old results in your life, well, then you're going to have to do something different. Today I choose to do things spiritually, and I know some of you poo-poo, my understanding, and that's okay. I'm not here to contend with anybody's faith or their measure of understanding, because you have what you have, but I'm gonna ask you this, okay, but what if you had an opportunity for more? Would you take it? Just ask. There are a lot of things that we got to set aside that hinder us from being who we truly are. And again, I don't care what your faith system is, all right, but each and every one of you is uniquely and divinely crafted, not only to be a reflection of the God of your understanding, but to be that hand or that workmanship in the earth. Believe it or not, trust me, I like my coffee mugs, okay? Love my crystal skulls. I love all those things, but you know what? That's not the entirety of my purpose. The most important part of my purpose is to be an example of the God of my understanding. And I'm going to tell you something. There isn't perfection in that. As a matter of fact, it's I'm a pretty fucking messy example sometimes, okay? Because although I try to live spiritually and I try to be guided spiritually, like me and my sponsor, we had this conversation the other day. We came to the understanding that our thinking's broke. We're broken, okay? So I don't do anything perfectly. This isn't about being perfect. This is about learning, and this is about growing, and it's fucking messy, okay? Living life and an abundant life, it's messy. There's nothing picture perfect about any of it. But I think that's one of the joys that in this reality of brokenness, that in some small measure we can learn to love someone, setting aside all these other shit that we were taught, See, this is where these three spiritual principles, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. How honest are you? How open-minded? How willing are you? You know, trust me, there's people I have difficulty with, and there's people that probably have difficulty with me. You know what? That's okay. I'm not here to be... I'm just here to do what I do. And whatever is required of me, that, and you know, see, and that's where that willingness comes in. How willing are you to be the hand of the God of your understanding in this life? That's part of the journey. How willing are you? Are you willing to set aside everything because you feel, see this prompting from the inside, pushing you to do something or to say something, or you just stuff that and push that aside because, well, I got more important things to do? Really? You're gonna find out just how fucking important that is, or at least for me, anyways. I learned the hard way. I really wish. I know there are other ways than the hard way to learn them. It's just I've not chosen that path, not made that choice yet. There's hope. But, you know, this is the July 4th weekend. This is Monday, July 5th, you know, and in part, and I'm going to tell you something. I have never experienced such freedom as I have today because I chose a more spiritually minded mindset. Because I choose to live more spiritually minded. I have freedom today. You know, most of you know my story. You know, I've had freedom from active addiction for a few days. Okay, I've been clean a long time. But there's so much more freedom to be had. You know, I'm free to be who I want to be today. Okay, I've learned how to, for the most part, I am the master of my mind. Okay, I create my own reality. Okay. That may take a while. Let that soak in. You know, if you're trying to live differently until you learn to think differently, and part of that thinning is you got to learn to master your mind. And that takes time and that takes practice. Now again, I'm not trying to create a bunch of little mini-me's because my path is my path. Okay? And I've had the opportunity to study a lot of things. You know, I got degrees, especially in the spiritual end of it. You know, and I was just blessed with that opportunity, and it's a path that I chose, and I still continue to learn. You know, I know some of you have heard me say this, that you know, I just got done with a course that I was taking out of in Israel on Kabbalah, which is a form of mysticism in the Jewish faith. It was interesting. I learned a lot. But see, that's the thing, you know, that I have freedom to do that today. I can choose, you know, I'm getting closer to 70 than I am 60 anymore. And I still study. And I still learn, because I learned on this path of discovery, to self-discovery, that I actually like learning. Might want to try that sometime. If you feel being led one way or another, we have so many opportunities, but we push them aside because we either think we're too old, we're too this, we're too that. That's bullshit. That's somebody else's mindset. All the answers that you're gonna need on this path and on this journey are already within you. Okay, again, like I said, I don't care what your particular faith system is. You are divinely crafted. That which you need is already within you. You just need to be brave and patient enough, willing, honest, open-minded, to look within to find those answers. All right, guys, the captain's got to get some grub, otherwise I'm going to be grangry. So I will see some of you later, maybe. I don't know. It depends. I haven't decided. But Archimedes, let's be about it.